All right, guys. So I am back with another video. I'm going to try and do every other day. That way I can produce more quality content rather than be forced to get something out. And yeah, I want to give you guys more content so I can be relatable to you guys. You can learn from me. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please let me know. And I'd love to learn from you guys as well. So today I'm going to talk about what addiction means to me, and the power of addiction and how to overcome it. So, addiction can be anything, really. Um, Almost the whole population's addicted to their phones, addicted to those quick satisfaction things, whether it be alcohol, drugs, phone, porn, anything that gives you quick satisfaction can be addiction. And what it does is it gives you that instant dopamine boost. And for so many of us, we get that instant dopamine boost. So we're cruising at this high level of dopamine. And you never want to come down when you're up here. And throughout my whole life, I looked for that quick dopamine hit. I always wanted to be up here. I never wanted to come down. And um, alcohol addiction, at least, you have anxiety, you have depression. So you drink, you have that quick cure. And alcohol is a depressant, but it does make you feel better, or at least you think you're feeling better. Um, and when it came to gambling and the other substances I was using, my dopamine was way up here constantly. That next slot spin, that next hit. And when you're cruising up here and you crash, the normal level's right here, you're up here. And when you crash, you go below the normal level. And you never want to come down from that. And that's why I was staying up for 2, 3 days. I never wanted to come down. That next slot spin, that next hit, like I'm always chasing up here. And that addiction comes in where you never want to lose that high dopamine level. You never want to come down because that means you don't have that excitement. You don't have that quick satisfaction you're looking for. And the hardest part about coming clean from your addiction is you're never going to have that up top most dopamine hit again. You have to be comfortable with cruising at that level, that low level dopamine, that middle line. And what I've noticed since I got sober was it's more of a steady dopamine hit. Like you're never down here and you're never way up here, but you're coasting. And for me, it's way more satisfying. You don't have those highs and those lows because they hit hard. you know I could win 5 grand on a slot machine, win 5 grand on blackjack, and I'm up here. But when you lose it, you go way down, and it goes down and gets worse. And that's where depression comes in. That's where all those sad things come in. And for example, like 2 Christmases ago, I wake up in the morning and the first thing's on my mind is to go get that bag, to go drink. I should be focusing on how grateful I am to have the family I do, spend time with my family. But when you're in that state of mind, the family just doesn't, you're not thinking that they're good enough. And that's how your brain thinks. Like you want more, you want that dopamine hit rather than spending good quality time with your family. And it's fucked up. Like no one should ever think about that. No drug or alcohol is ever better than being with your family. But when you're in that state, when you're in that addiction, it takes control of you. You know, Rolling up to Christmas fucked up. I mean, no one might have known, or they didn't say anything. But When it's in the morning on Christmas 2 years ago and I'm searching for a bag, like, that's not okay. And in the back of my mind, I knew it wasn't okay, but I thought it was cool. I thought I had it under control. But addiction's so damn powerful, and if you can break away from those high dopamine hits. I've been trying to cut back on my phone. I've deleted some apps, and I try my best to only use apps when I'm posting for my content. And I do catch myself scrolling. I'm not perfect, because it's hard to do. You can catch yourself scrolling on TikTok or scrolling on Instagram, um, which is okay in moderation. But when you've got to find that balance, and no one wants that balanced life. Like, you have to be okay with staying in the middle. Um, and where I'm getting at with this is there is a way to fix that addiction, and you can find natural dopamine hits. The last couple months, I've started incorporating things into my life. I was never a cold shower guy. Like, when I wake up, I'm freezing. Like, I don't want to hop in a cold shower, but I started doing it, and I kind of look forward to it now. I get that burst of energy, I get that rush, and I get that quick dopamine hit. I knew I just did something hard. I did something hard and I started off the day right. And that's a natural dopamine hit. That's going to last longer, and you're going to, the energy might come down, but you're not crashing like you would on a short-term satisfaction like gambling or drugs or alcohol. Because when you crash from substances, it is hard. It's sad. It's scary. You're laying in your bed like, why the fuck? I'm never doing that again. And then you end up doing it again. But when you find natural solutions, going on a runner's high, there are things that you don't want to just go and do. But when you do them enough and you stop with those quick term satisfactions, you get those out of your life, you start doing those hard things to get that satisfaction. So going on a run, taking the ice shower or the ice bath or whatever, you're getting natural dopamine hits. And it took me like a week or two to like really start to understand and notice that. Because when you cut all the short-term stuff out and start adding in those healthy things to get those dopamine hits, it does work. And it's way safer, it's way healthier, and you don't have to worry about crashing. Because when you crash down hard, it's dark, it's scary. I know a lot of people go through it. After a long weekend of drinking, you're laying in your bed like, oh my God, I'm hurting. Probably don't even, the hangover ends around Tuesday, and then you wait till like Thursday night, Friday night comes around, and then you start it over again. And it really messes with your brain chemistry. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to get into the details about your brain chemistry with drugs and alcohol, but it does fuck it up. But I just wanted to come on here and kind of give a rundown of how it's been for me and how I see it. It could be different from in other people's eyes how they see addiction, but for me, that's kind of how I coped with it. Because you're always going to have that thought in your mind, like, oh man, like, I want that quick satisfaction, I want to go gamble again. I want to take a hit again. But you have to just remember how much damage that caused, how much depression that caused, how much sadness that caused, because you never have to go back there if you don't want. You can be healthy. You don't have to go up way too high or down way too low. You can cruise in the middle and start building up those small little things that make you happy. Appreciate those little things, because those big fluctuations really fuck with you, and it really fucked with me. Because I always wanted to be up here. Everyone wants to be up there, but you have to make sacrifices, and you have to understand these things, that you can overcome it, but you have to switch the way your brain thinks, and you have to understand that there's a way out and there's a way to fix it. But if you guys haven't seen or heard, I have started a program called The Lab. It's a program where you can get your fitness and meal plans in check. You can get your mindset in check. You can have a support group, that keeps each other accountable, keeps each other in check. And my favorite is just a community where everybody can inspire and push one another. And you don't have to be sober. You don't have to you don't have to be sober. You just have to want to better yourself. And if you get sober along the way, great. But it's a way to clean up your life. It's a way to think differently. It's a way to act differently that increases the quality of your life, allows you to appreciate the small things, allows you to appreciate yourself. Because when you're doing all those quick term satisfactions, drugs, gambling, like, you're abusing yourself. And I'm not some big alcohol hater. Just because I can't handle my shit doesn't mean you guys can't. But I'm more speaking to the people who can't. Because a lot of people are afraid to come out and say that they have an issue. In reality, probably over 50% of Americans have some sort of issue or addiction. And I kind of want to normalize being sober, because being sober should be more normalized. We've got these alcohol companies just make it so normalized. Every commercial on TV, there's Bud Light commercial, Budweiser commercial, Tito's commercial, and it's so normalized. And if you go out to an event, if you go out to the bar and you're not drinking, it's almost like, oh, what the hell happened to you? Like, what's wrong with you? How come you're not drinking? Which I'm okay with. Like, I speak my mind. Like, no, I don't want to drink. Simple as that. But it's being so normalized, it seems like you're an outcast when you're sober. But in reality, you're not. And you're not better than anybody else because you're sober. But I think it should be normalized. It's cool to be sober. When you can see it from a different light. Because I want to be a great father one day. I want to give them everything I can. And I know for a fact, if I'm not doing the things I need to do, and I'm drinking, I'm gambling, I am the worst version of myself possible. And I never want to be that person again. I will never be that person again. Because I enjoy my life. I love my life now. And I'm so happy that I got it back on track. And I'm doing all this because I know there's people out there that would love to get clean, that would love to get sober, but there's things holding them back. They're not confident enough to just leave their friend group or admit that they have a problem. But there are so many people that have a problem, and just admit it. Like, fuck it. Yeah, I can't handle my alcohol. I'm a fiend. Like, own up to it. Like, no one's gonna be like, oh my God, you're a piece of shit. They're gonna be like, I'm here for you. We've known you had a problem. It's pretty apparent. Like, it wasn't a secret. But own it. It's cool. It's cool. Like, no one's gonna shun you. Like, just come out, say I got a problem and I'm ready to work on myself, because we can get you there. We can get you help. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. If you liked it, please subscribe. Give me feedback. Give me a comment. If there's something you don't agree with or you want me to talk more in depth about, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to learn just as well as you guys. So thanks for the support. Love it. Peace out.